Hey everyone, a great question today that takes us to somewhere mind-blowing. Hi, lovely Claire. I was listening to your podcast about subliminals, in brackets, a listener wanting a refund because it seems not to be working. Yeah. You said that it's always working, but it might be that the topic is already obvious and therefore it seems not to work or it's too challenging for the system. I get that, but I'm now wondering if a subliminal is working, which is so subtle, and I don't even know what's spoken, what about the music I listen to all day at home while working? Do they also influence my system? So they are not something I choose, but the usual pop songs the radio is playing that are all about not having love, losing love, wanting love, longing for someone you can't have anymore, etc. What are your thoughts about that? Is it because the subliminals are unconscious that they go deep and pop songs don't? Or do they? And that's why I'm always in that longing. What a great question. Yeah, so this question is really getting to the heart of all the influences that are going on this mind-body system, which is wired to learn, wired to pick up data and formulate rules about how the world works and what the self is. And so let's look at three types of sound or three types of stimuli. Consciously aware stimuli. So this is something that the conscious mind is aware is happening. So you're listening to this or watching this video, listening to this podcast, and the conscious mind is engaged with it. It's there's attention, there's conscious attention on it, and the whole thing is happening within awareness. Then we've got supraliminal. So liminal is the line of conscious awareness. Supraliminal are those sounds or stimuli that we are aware of if attention were to be drawn to it, that are available to be consciously perceived, but which aren't being. And there's this lovely study that's been done with playing Italian or German music in a supermarket and the corresponding increase in either German wine or Italian wine being bought. And or it might be French, but I'm not sure, it doesn't matter. At the checkout, the shoppers were asked, why did you buy this wine? And there's all sorts of reasons, I like the bottle, I like the price, it's on promotion. But actually, from the data, it was clear that the major influence, the thing that really was having the difference was the music. That if people were stopped and asked, what language is this music in, they could listen to the music and say it. But without the attention being drawn to it, it's having an effect on behavior, on everything. And then the conscious mind comes in with a rationale. This is what's so amazing. It's so amazing, this. So there's influence on the body mind and behavior results. The behavior is coming from influence that actually there might not even be any conscious awareness of. And then there's a rational description, and this has been shown over and over and over again in countless studies. There's a description by the rational conscious mind that says, oh yes, I did this because XYZ. Fascinating. And then the third area is subliminal, which is what we're creating here, is stimuli that are there but are below the level of availability for conscious attention. And the listener is saying, what is going on with all of these inputs that are going on around me? So so the pop music, we could say, is either consciously perceived, like we're singing along to it, we hear it, we recognize the words, or supraliminally perceived, in that if the attention were drawn to it, it would be heard, but otherwise it's just background music. We might be doing something else, completely not aware that it's going on. And study after study after study is showing that these things have profound influence on our behavior. And this has to take us to a place that says, there is no doer. It has to. There is no doer. There is no conscious decider, because even a conscious choice, so the choice in the supermarket, I'm choosing German wine, I'm choosing Italian wine. Where has the influence for that choice come from? So the choice looks, it's conscious in the sense there's a conscious awareness of a choice being made. But in terms of the choice being made consciously, impossible, isn't it? Literally impossible that there is a decider, a chooser within the system that is acting independently of all the supraliminal, subliminal, completely subconscious influences on the mind-body system, going back since conception, but also since the origin of humankind, because that's what's been passed down. That's our makeup. That's the body mind, this sort of collection of influences that results in behavior. So our model, our sort of conditioned model of behavior, that there's a doer in here making decisions, is completely wrong and is the source of all confusion. Because when we get sane and it starts to become obvious, well, behavior is happening, words are being said, actions are being taken, habits are playing out, that is really the first time the conscious mind is seeing it. And this behavior now is information back into this learning system, this subconscious learning system, about what's being believed, about what's looking true, about influences, about conditioning, about programming. It's breathtaking. And so it's this lovely, simple question, like, am I being influenced by pop songs? It takes us all the way down to yes, and more than that, there's nothing but pop songs, external stimuli, internal factors that are driving all behavior, driving all experience of life. It's really profound. And it's why it's so important that a spiritual conversation brings in accountability, brings in that gaze, that acknowledgement of behavior, of words, of actions, because it's so easy for this conversation to dismiss it. But accountability says, look at the behavior, because the behavior is information. It's exceptional information that goes back into the system that makes transparent this sort of operating environment that is creating actions, creating words. Yeah, impossible that there is a separate, independent, objective chooser. And obvious, once we start looking in this direction, that all behavior is profoundly, essentially a product of influences. There's no way around it. And it's only the ego that would say, I'm controlling this, I'm choosing this. Yeah, big stuff. So thank you for that. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye.